Everybody, it's William Jones, the founder of Jewelry Sales Academy and Jewel Link, and today I'm going to go over something in a little bit more detail that people ask me about. And that's really, what influences average ticket, what influences sales. And so I'm going to go with this from a different perspective, and I always like to go through things from like a logical perspective if we're trying to change something. So let's go through what really changes your sales in retail. There's two things, and that is the amount of traffic, and that's also your average ticket, okay? And now traffic, of course, we get that from location, marketing, etc. We all get that. But average ticket's something that goes there because that really is the mark of how confident a associate is on the sales floor. It marks your inventory, pretty much everything that goes through there. And the reason for that, and I always like to say confidence in sales associate, is because of this right here. Everything in a jewelry store is under lock and key. So a customer cannot come in a typical jewelry store and show themselves around and pick out a piece and buy it. Okay, so they have to have a sales associate do that. And so what I've tried to do my best to draw you a typical layout of a jewelry store, because this principle is going to work in almost every single jewelry store, no matter the size, no matter what anything else is, because of a few different things. All right, the first thing is that almost everything's under lock and key. We have to lock things up so people don't just walk out with them. And the next thing is that for security reasons, due to snatch and grabs and different things like that, almost every jeweler has in this area up here has lower priced inventory. Okay, this is generally where you're going to see silver fashion or items, etc. And then as we go further back into the store, where it's a little bit safer to prevent those things, we're going to have higher ticket items. So if we go through here and we understand that it's up to our sales associate what that customer sees, then that gives us kind of a different understanding of this layout of our store. Now think about this. Let's say that we get a customer that walks through here, and if we're really good at this, this is where our sales associates stand right here. If we're really good at this, covering this front area, a new customer walks in, they go, hey, it's my 25th wedding anniversary. Now, if anybody has been in jewelry for over a certain amount of time or really sells a lot, what are you going to want to do? Let's say this is our bridal area over here. All right, so this is our bridal. So, in our loose. And we're going to keep diamond fashion back here. Really, this is just our higher ticket items in here. Let's just go with that. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want to get this person back in here somehow. Okay, 25th anniversary, we know that's a big event. We want to show them a 3-carat diamond. We want to show them a tennis bracelet. We want to show them all these different things like that. Now, let's say that we have a newer associate right there. Okay, somebody who does not understand really how to sell, how to relationship sell, and as soon as somebody comes in, they're not very good at that introduction. They're newer there, they don't know the inventory, they're automatically worried. And this person walks to the door and their hair stands up on the back of their neck. Maybe they stumble on the intro, they do something like that. What are they going to want to show somebody? Or what are they going to want to do? The first thing that person is going to want to do is they're going to want to immediately show something, because that's typically what we see newer sales associates or lower volume sales associates do. All right, so let's look at what's immediately around this person. This, all right, this, and I even drew it like this on purpose because we used to have a store that was designated like this. When a customer walks in, and if this person gets uncomfortable, they're going to want to do one of two things. They're going to want to immediately show a piece of inventory, or they're going to want to get on this other side of the case to kind of get them away from it. It's just subconscious. And so if we've got this laid out like this, what we immediately see is greeting this customer, oh, what can I help you with? I'm looking for 25th anniversary, and I'm going to show them something in here. So they're immediately going to get behind this case and start working in here. And this is where our silver fashion used to be. So think about it this way, is that if this person's not comfortable and they're not good at showing or working this intro, this is where they're going to live. And so by the time you get to this, if you're a manager, if you're a sales manager, or if you're an owner, by the time you come up and greet this person, 2 or 3 minutes has passed, and we are starting this customer with lower purchase or lower ticket merchandise. So what is this over time going to do to our average ticket? It's going to lower it. Okay, and then on top of that, this is what's going to train your newer associate on how to sell. they're going to more often than not, a customer comes in, subconsciously just learn, I show them a piece of inventory, I start in Lagos, and I go from here. A really good example, and probably the luckiest I've ever been, is I was in one of our stores training one day, and I said, "Hey, I'm a new customer. I just walked in. It was like December during the 2019 or something like that. I walk in. I said, I walk in. What are you guys going to show me?" And I said, everybody went to this silver fashion area. Like, we're not going to do that. Okay. Let's redo this. I'm a newer customer. I want to look at diamond studs. What are you going to show me? And every single person went to diamond studs that were like $1,400. I was like, we're not going to do that whatsoever. Everybody's going to at least show 2-carat diamond studs. And nobody liked it. They said, we don't sell those very often, etc. But what ends up happening, I was so lucky, a guy comes in early, goes over and says, "Hey, I need to look at diamond studs." The girl pulls out 2-carat diamond studs. It gives me this look from across the case. He goes, "Great, I'll take them." And so that completely changed that store. But think about it this way. What did I learn just from that training? Is that people do what they want to show what they think is going to sell the most. And so if you're not giving them a system to go out here and learn how to sell through here, then you're going to get stuck in this rut, and this really impacts your average ticket. And if you're trying to grow your store, this really is the secret to growing your volume, is average ticket over traffic. It's very hard to grow traffic unless you're building a new store, you have some crazy campaign or something like that. But let's get back to the layout here. If we're wanting to raise our average ticket and we're just looking at it from this like a chessboard, what do we have to do? We have to train people from working through here through working through this area right here. Okay? Now, how does that work? We have to train this person to where when somebody walks in, their go-to is not just to show inventory. Their go-to is to give them a tour of the store or do something like that. Because the biggest difference between having, say, a $500 average ticket or a $1,800 average ticket is, it sounds so simple, but it really is where you most consistently get your customers in your store. And we're even launching Count Retail to kind of help understand this, because if the majority of our traffic, let's say we have 100 people a month, and this is our hotspot in the store, versus if this was our hotspot in the store, this average ticket is going to be 2 or 3 times higher than if this is the hotspot in the store. And so, like, what I always like to tell people is that we're not, fast food. We're not trying to show and sell as fast as possible. This is a nice sit-down dinner. This is an experience. We want to invite this person into our home. We want to give them a tour, show them around, and this helps us go around this store. And so the easiest fix for this is to train people in that, give them a tour of the store, and then go around this store location in probably a clockwise movement around the store, specifically because we have a receptionist desk here, and so we've got a big hole. So if we can come this way and get somebody to walk this way through the store and then come back through here, we can completely transform our average ticket. We can completely change our sales associates. Our aged merchandise is going to change. Everything is going to change simply by where we're directing people around the store and how we're adjusting people's perception. So I always like to tell people the least expensive stuff is closer to the door, not to show first, but to show last if all the other things don't work. So I hope this makes sense. This is all about increasing your average ticket and really understanding how the physical layout of your store affects not just your salespeople and not just your sales, but your whole brand and what people think about your company. And the better you are at designating these higher average ticket areas and then getting people through there, the better you're going to be. And I've seen people take in repairs, taking appraisals, do all kinds of different things to not just take those things in, but to manipulate their traffic so they're getting back here with these higher ticket items. So hope you enjoyed this video. Check us out at jewelrysalesacademy.com. And as always, if you ever have any questions, you have feedback, or you would ever want to bounce any ideas off of us, join our group at Jewel Link on Facebook, which you can find from just navigating to our Jewelry Sales Academy page.